Welcome now to the Tuesday edition of the Fun Astrology Podcast. Thomas Miller on February 6th. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm going to just keep this in front of us this week, as I mentioned yesterday about the coming practicum of Robert Glasscock's Horary class that we are going to be doing on Saturday. If you're interested in that, just stay close to funastrology.com. Up at the top, I'll be putting all the updates in there, including the Zoom link information for the webinar. We decided to make it free for everybody. If you don't make it live, there will be a replay, but there will be a nominal little charge for that. All right, today's sky. The moon enters Capricorn at 7:08 this morning, and this moon is actually a really good one for getting something either done or launched, because the last aspect before Thursday's next void of course is a conjunction with Mars, and that's a happy Mars in Capricorn to boot. So not only do you get that sea-goat hard-headedness to get it done, you also get the thrust and the power of Mars to really move it forward. Judy, she knows what I'm talking about. We're working on just such a project, and it's going to be exciting once it gets launched. But this would be a great couple of days window to move anything forward like that. Now, like we were saying yesterday, between now and Saturday the 17th, Mercury, Mars, and Venus all methodically march their way out of Capricorn into Aquarius. Then, for just a long day and a half, basically, they will be in there with the sun before the sun moves out late, almost midnight Eastern on the 18th. Of those three, Mercury is the one that is exalted in Aquarius. That's basically based on its rulership of Virgo. So we are building this Aquarian energy right now. Can you feel it? Can you feel the change? Can you feel the radical? Can you feel the collective? And yet, can you feel the independence? And this is important because, as we talked about yesterday, this is really a continuation of yesterday's episode. That we were talking about, can you feel a calm hand on the wheel in the midst of turmoil and the storm? Because between now and 2026, Pluto will enter Aquarius for good in November. Then look at the rest of the structure of the chart. So Saturn is in Pisces until February of 2026. It dances into Aries for 3 months, but basically it's in Pisces until 2026. Neptune is in Pisces until March of 2025. Then it enters Aries. And basically, Neptune is pretty much done with Pisces at that point, although it does dance back in just to 29 degrees on a retrograde, and then by January of 2026, it's an Aries Neptune. That's the same position it was in during the United States Civil War. Hand on the wheel during the storm. And that's while Saturn is simultaneously wrapping up its transit through Pisces, and it joins Neptune in Aries in February of 2026. This is what Ray Merriman has dubbed the Aries Vortex. And I'd like to read just a little excerpt from one of his recent newsletters where this was mentioned. This is back a couple of weeks, but he said in February of 2026, Saturn and Neptune will both enter Aries in a powerful conjunction at the world universal degree of 0 Aries. And of course, that's where our tropical zodiac begins. Additionally, in the summer of 2026, Uranus and Gemini will trine Pluto in Aquarius at around 4 degrees, and their midpoint will be near the 0 Aries point, within 4 degrees. I'm skipping ahead a little bit here, but he says at that point, we have this cosmic vortex attracting a powerful energy that brings together the principles of Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus, Pluto. In other words, in my aside here, all of the formative outer planet energy combined. According to colleague and astro researcher Daniel Gordon, who initiated the discussion on creating a name for this cosmic event, nothing like this has happened before, and that name was dubbed by Ray the Aries Vortex. So do you see why I chose that analogy yesterday? It really needed massaging and unpacking today. But this is why we're seeing the seeds of this already. Nations are beginning to shift. Power centers are pivoting. Influencers are some emerging and some fading. The truth is continuing to come out. I still don't understand the modern-day plot of grumpy old men playing out for President of the United States, but maybe that will shift too. Who knows? But look, things are changing. And wouldn't we expect that with Aquarius? So this is where I go with this. Okay, things are shifting. How am I going to shift with them? Do I need to release anything? Let anything go? Learn anything? Think differently? There's Mercury and Pluto like we talked about yesterday. Do I need to learn to think differently? It'll be 88 days before Mercury comes back to bump Pluto again in Aquarius. So during those 88 days, is there something I need to be working on as far as my belief system or my thoughts or how I process information? How could I be a radical, a revolutionary, just crazy enough to think that we could change the world, as Mr. Jobs said? So when we realize where all of this is headed and we realize the magnitude of this planetary cosmic shift that's going to be taking place, or at least that is indicated in the sky could take place, we ask ourselves, how are we going to be a part of that? It's so powerful. And then, as we're the old captain in the hull with our hand on the wheel, we look around and see a lot of waves rocking the boat. We just stay steady, because we know where we're going. Wow. Beautiful, huh? That's the time we're in. So, really, the chore of the next about 10 days or so is to stack the deck with Aquarian energy. So let's just tune into it and get on that harmonic. What do you say? Have a great Tuesday. I'll see you back tomorrow for Hump Day already. Bye-bye.